Welcome to the Downtown Dogs. My name is Jimmy Rogers. If you love dogs, you're going to love today's guest. Our guest is the Vice President of Development at Dawgs for Better Lives. Since 1977, DBL has placed more than 1,700 dogs, including both shelter and purpose-bred. It's my honor to introduce Harvey Potts. Harvey, how are you?
Hey, Jimmy.
Welcome.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Now, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well. I love the fact, as I was sharing with you earlier, that this kind of weather really inspires me. I know a lot of people don't care for the gray skies and the constant rain, but having lived in Seattle for 20 years, it brings back a lot of great memories.
It's my favorite weather.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Now, you flew in this morning from Medford, Oregon?
Flew in this morning, direct flight.
Okay.
I've been up since around 3 a.m., but
Okay.
I have lots of coffee in me, of course, being in Seattle.
First day of spring today?
First day of spring.
Hard to tell. Feels warmer, though.
It does. I think often when it rains here, you get a lot of humidity, so it's nice being outside.
Definitely. Now, real quick, tell us about your name. Harvey Potts.
Harvey Potts. What can I tell you about it? I think it has English background and German influence as well.
Okay.
The name Potts.
Did you growing up, did they have nicknames or?
Gosh,
You look like a pretty well-balanced fella,
sometimes they would say Harv, but
Nothing with the Potts and the Harry Potter thing, or?
No, not so much.
That's good.
I think Harry Potter might have been after I was growing up through school.
Same. Now, Dawgs for Better Lives professionally trains dogs to help people and enhance lives while maintaining a lifelong commitment to all the dogs they rescue or breed and the people they serve. DBL trains and places service dogs in 3 different programs: hearing, autism, and facility dogs.
Yeah.
A facility dog is a specially trained dog that works alongside a professional such as a therapist or a teacher in a structured environment like a hospital, school, or courthouse. These dogs provide animal-assisted intervention to improve patients' mental and physical health. Basically, they are highly trained for specific tasks. Is there a 4th program coming?
Yeah, so later this spring, in fact, we're going to be launching a PTSD program. And those of us internally have been waiting some time to see this launch, just because we have been receiving a lot of requests over the last several years for a dog, a certified service dog that could specifically work with veterans. So later this spring in the state of Georgia. So it's going to be a pilot program, only be in Georgia, but we're hoping, over the next several years that we can expand that to...
There must be a high demand for the veterans.
Absolutely. And in fact, we already serve a number of veterans within the 3 programs that you just mentioned, especially hearing.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Now, how did you get involved in Dawgs for Better Lives?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Well, as I was sharing with you earlier, Jimmy, I lived in Seattle for 20 years, and most of it in the nonprofit sector, and most of it very environmental conservation focused. But of course, I grew up loving dogs like many of us, and it was time for a change. And I came across this organization. At the time, they were known as Dogs for the Deaf, not Dogs for Better Lives, which that name came later.
I like the latter name much more.
Well, and that's when, historically we started with hearing dogs only. Mm-hmm. And so that name makes a lot more sense with talking about hearing assistance dogs. But of course, my love of dogs and how they impact our lives, whether they're certified or not, and then how, in the case of Dogs for Better Lives, how these dogs go on to better other people's lives, hence the current name, Dogs for Better Lives. Mm-hmm. It's a win-win-win. So, and we also work with shelter dogs, so it's giving both shelter and purpose-bred dogs purpose in their lives, which is, I think that's great.
Now you have an upcoming fundraiser. That's May 15th from 3:30 to 6 o'clock. The name of it is?
Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit.
Okay.
And this is the 4th year of our signature event. And we have traditionally 5 contestants from across the country, and they're all creating a human-grade dog treat, and they're all competing to become top dog. Instead of top chef, they're top dog. Last year, we worked with Chamber of Commerce presidents from across the country, including one here in Washington State, Tom Pearson, who is the interim president for the Tacoma Chamber of Commerce. This year, we're working with former NFL players. And so we have 5, again, former NFL players across the country. So Seattle, down in Southern Oregon, in the Medford area, we have a contestant. One in Long Beach, California.
Now, is the one in Southern Oregon, is that Chad Cota?
Is Chad Cota.
Okay.
Yeah, originally, he was not able to participate because he was going to be out of the country. And we sat down with him, and he's going to partner up with David Cottrell. They both, I believe, went to the University of Oregon together. Chad, of course, went on to play in the NFL.
From Ashland, Oregon.
From Ashland. And so he's not going to be able to be at the event on the 15th, so David Cottrell is going to step in for him.
I see. Norm Johnson?
Norm Johnson here
Seattle
locally.
Seahawk?
Yeah, that's a real great find. And
So he's got a treat.
He's working on it. I'll
He's
find out
working
more
on it.
about it today.
So each one of these contestants have treats that they have basically discovered.
Tested. Hopefully they've tested it.
Yeah.
And so the idea, each of them needs to
And the
raise.
winner gets a cap or gets a crown, or
They get crowned as top dog, and then we have a couple of other goodies that we're kind of keeping under wraps. But
Okay.
definitely the top dog is going to receive some nice
when you say
award.
goodies, you're saying for the winner.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they're also, the winner is also that contestant that raises the most money. So, and again, this is all a fundraiser to obviously support more service dog placements in the future.
Now, have you found over the years that there's a specific or a certain breed that's better at one of the 4 programs? Is there a Rottweiler better at hearing, or autism, or is there any type of connection to the breed of dog and the program that they're being trained for?
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, we don't work with Rottweilers, and it's not because they cannot be an amazing service dog. I'm sure they can. Unfortunately, it's public perception.
Oh, interesting. Sure.
This dog is certified to go into public, like our hearing dogs are certified to go into public, and they can go into a restaurant per ADA laws. But it's, if you're in public, and it's just that perception. And also, when we look at the health and hereditary lines of dogs, there are definitely certain breeds. There's been a lot of extensive research done on this that work best for service dogs. And so we traditionally work with Labradors and Golden Retrievers, and sometimes mixes of the two, predominantly. But we also, which is somewhat unique to Dogs for Better Lives, we also work with shelter dogs. And so often when you're working with a shelter dog, you don't necessarily know its history, or it can be a mixed breed. In many cases, it is a mixed breed. And they take twice, if not 3 times longer to train, just because of...
And how far back did you start working with shelter dogs?
That, since the very beginning, since
Okay.
1977. In fact,
So you're giving them a home.
We're giving them a
giving
forever
somebody
home.
ears or
Exactly.
eyes or comfort.
Exactly. And even if they don't work out, especially the shelter dogs, as a certified service dog, we call those career change dogs. We find them a forever loving home, and we have a lifetime investment in those dogs. So still, it's a win-win.
So you don't say they failed as a trained dog, but they have a career change.
They were career changed,
And you get them a
just
home.
not deemed, that being a certified dog is really what they're
Wasn't
destined
cut
to
out
do.
for, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so interesting. So where do these dogs train most of the time? Is there a specific part that has more than most states or cities? Or
So we have 2 campuses. One, of course, down in Southern Oregon in Central Point, And then in 2023, we acquired property in Massachusetts,
Okay.
out on Cape Cod, in a
Okay.
town called Falmouth. It was a former dog boarding company, and so they had kennels and some of the facilities already there. And we did some renovation to that building, launched it later in 2023. And so it's great to have an East Coast campus so we can better serve, you know, the East Coast and eastern part of the United States. And then beyond the two campuses, we also have partnerships both in Texas and in Georgia with shelter organizations.
Perfect.
And that's where our shelter dogs predominantly come from. So we're partnering with an organization, also a nonprofit, Operation Kindness in Carrollton, which is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. And then we partner with Atlanta Humane Society in Georgia.
Who trains the trainers?
Yeah, well, you know, it's
And how expensive is that?
it's hard to find certified trainers. So often we hire and promote from within. So maybe you start out as a kennel tech and you're feeding the dogs, or you're washing the dogs, or you're providing, their vaccines, and that's your first job. And then the apprentice program over the next 2-3 years trains you and puts you in a position to become a certified trainer. So the organization's really big on that. And I had never seen that model until I came to Dogs for Better Lives. It's quite impressive. So most of our trainers come from within.
Now, do some dogs surprise you? Let's say, in a football analogy, let's say the coach sees this dog and says, I don't know, by looking at him, the way he walks, his actions, I just don't think this dog's going to be cut for this. And then he comes out and becomes an all-pack 10.
So it's definitely on the shelter dog side of things.
Because there's no background for starters.
Exactly.
And they might look a little down.
And they might not be fully potty trained, or they might have other stresses, or they just kind of, a lot of these shelter dogs are small and skittish, and sometimes they don't like men. I don't take offense to this, but predominantly, if a dog has been abused, it's typically, unfortunately, by a male, not a female person. We are helping with a litter of Schipperkes. You've seen it? It's like a kind of a size of a pug.
Okay,
It's
I may have
very
seen
small.
one, but
So
a shipper?
Schipperke. Yeah,
Okay.
I had to say that about 10 times to feel comfortable with saying it, because I had never heard of the breed until about 2 months ago. And there was unfortunately a hoarding case in the kind
A
of
hoarding case of Schipperkes.
in the Central Point, White
Interesting.
City area of Oregon, and we got involved because they needed to house the dogs. They eventually were pulled from the owner.
Gotcha.
So now we're working with a local shelter to find homes for all of them, but we pulled 4 of them into training to see, hey, maybe we can get some of these to work, and we still have 3 of those 4 in training, so we'll see.
Okay, and
Yeah.
do you have a favorite dog yourself besides your own?
There's several that we've trained over the years that I've really fallen in love with. One recently is a black lab named London, who was placed with a client of ours in central Colorado. And I got to know the dog during training, and I was also able to find one of our donors that was willing to sponsor that placement. And so it not only did I fall in love with the dog, but just the whole story around it, because that is one of the ways that people can support the organization, by deciding to sponsor one of our placements. And this happened a couple weeks ago, in fact. And it's a great story, and it just inspires me to see when someone wants to step up, support the organization, they help with a placement, and how that changes that individual's life moving forward. So,
What a great name for a dog.
yeah, London.
I
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you have a favorite breed?
Well, I'm certainly biased. I love, the Weimaraner, which is
Correct.
what I have at home, but they are the furthest dog from being, I mean, they're
Training.
just high energy. They're absolutely not equipped to be a service dog. But, you know, at work, of course, we work with the Labradors and the Golden Retrievers.
I was going to say the Golden Retrievers seem to, in my opinion, have the greatest demeanor and personality. Is there another one I'm missing that's right up there with the Golden?
You know, those two are definitely at the top. You know, occasionally we'll get, you know, maybe like a German Shepherd kind of mixed with something else that comes from a shelter that is somewhat unique. But those are the two most common. Yeah.
Okay. So May 15th from 3:30 to beginning at 3:30. A live event launches at 4:30.
Yeah.
In Seattle, that's going to be hosted at the home of board member Kelly Green.
Yeah.
Correct. Her husband and puppy raiser David Bond and their puppy Jerry.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll put the website below on the interview here, so you can check it out there. Am I missing anything, Harvey?
No, I mean, I think, again, you know, Norm Johnson, our local contestant, is going to have a couple of special things to give away. I think we're going to have a signed football.
Okay.
And maybe a jersey as well.
Okay.
And of course, we'll have, you know, this is fully catered, and, you know, we'll have, you know, special cocktails. I think, in fact, we're going to have one named the Jerry, after the puppy that everyone is going to be able to see at the event.
Absolutely.
And yeah, no, it's one of 5 national watch parties, again, where we have each of our contestants. And the whole thing will be tied into the live event down on the Central Point, Oregon campus. And it should be a great event.
So you can actually go to the home and watch it and be part of the program. And you have to RSVP, of course. It's a $20 cover charge.
Right. So, and of course, we have limited space at the event here at Kelly and David's home. So sign up right away.
Okay.
But if someone is unable to attend the event here locally, the watch party in Seattle, they definitely can watch it online and still participate. In fact, they could create their own watch party at home if they
That's a
wanted to.
great idea.
Yeah.
I bet you'll get a lot of those. Harvey, thank you so much for allowing me to interview you.
Yeah, thank you,
I really
Jimmy.
appreciate it. I hope that the Downtown Dogs can raise some money for the DBL.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Dogs for Better Lives.
Yeah.
From the heart of Seattle, my name is Jimmy Rogers. This is Harvey Potts. Together, we are the Downtown Dogs.